We're going to see who's here, who's in. Hopefully this thing is off. Is it off? Yeah, it's off. It's hot. What I do? Oh, I was going to say, what I do with my phone? I got nothing. Y'all, it's been a long day. Long day. Taking meds. Even if nobody comes in, I'm going to talk. Just getting in. I started out today at about 10:30 this morning. I'm tired as Hades. I'm only going to be on here for a little bit, but I'm going to talk about some stuff, whether folks stay on or not. If you come in, like, give it a thumbs up, share it out if you feel you want to. And I stopped on the way, so I woke up early, and the Lord told me I should have probably gotten up and did my laundry then, because I woke up at 7. No, I take that back. I woke up at 5. And I should have started and got my laundry done, but I didn't do that. And what did I do next? I went back to bed. I then turned around and I got up at 7 something and I started winding up meds. And that's coffee from yesterday. And this is for today. I had a sample of this. If y'all got a Dutch Brothers in your area, they had this thing, and one of my favorite fruits is a green apple. Other apples are okay, but the green apple and me, we got a relationship. I love that tart, semi-sweet. Well, they got a green apple drink called a green apple smoothie. And they did the whipped cream on top this time. They didn't do it yesterday. And the one I had yesterday, I was like, oh my God, it's really, really good. And so today I went back and got the largest one they had because I got a kid size yesterday. And when you drink it with the whipped cream on top, it tastes like you're eating a green apple pie. It's phenomenal. Dutch Brothers. And no, they're not sponsored, but they bomb. I don't know if y'all can get that, but some of y'all can get that. That's their rewards thing. This green apple is bomb. It's seriously just wrong. And then I had to stop and get gas, and they got these things. And I used to get them at the truck stop when I drove trucks, high chews. I thought they had energy stuff in them last time, but anyway. So I grabbed 2 of them at the fuel station. So anyway, I got up this morning, 10:30, got out the house, got over to hey, Chicago BBW, what's up, baby? How you doing? How's your weather? I'm just rambling right now. I was giving some people because I didn't really plan this one. I'm going to try to start scheduling them. Some things are going to be happening with my schedule in hopefully November. Got some stuff coming up. I'll explain to y'all a little later. It's going to have to be later in November that I'll explain it. But I'm taking like the whole month of November off from the job I'm currently at. We'll chat about that later. I went this morning. I got up extra early. I got gnats again. I'm not winning. I'm wondering if I had a bad bamboo plant. I'm thinking that did it. But then we had some moisture outside. Yeah, weather's getting ready to change. It's starting to cool off here. But today I think we were 95, 99 because it was a little warm today. I've been in the streets since about 11 to 10:30 this morning. 10:30, 11ish this morning. And I got up and had breakfast. And I went to this breakfast spot that's brand new to me. OMG. Bomb. I'm going back next week. I'm like, I just bit the potatoes. He did like country potatoes. That brother's wrong. Veggie omelet that had eggplant in it. A man after my own heart. I love eggplant. I didn't care about none of them other vegetables. Well, the eggplant, I think he said eggplant, bell pepper. I think he did some kind of like zucchini in one of the squash. I didn't care about that. Eggplant, bell pepper, and I think onion. That's all he needed to do for me. I was happy. But the potatoes, and he made his homemade biscuits. I bought extra biscuits. Them biscuits were like this big. They were huge and they were soft. You could take a nap on them. Anyway, this place called Joe's Diner up here from my house. It's really, really nice. So I did that, and then came back to the house to tinkle. What else did I come back for? I came back for a couple things. I had to go to the bathroom. And then I had to go to the laundromat. What kind of building? You talking about a house? You talking about a house? You've lost me. Clarify, Chicago. You talking about an apartment in the building, or are you trying to buy the building? Tell me if you're trying to buy the building, or if you're talking about they're saying there's an apartment you qualify for. Are you getting assistance? And you're like getting, or well, let me ask this, and if you don't mind, are you getting assistance, and or are you a senior? Like I'm 55, so now we're considered seniors, right? So 55 plus communities, like there's one that's not that far from me where they're giving discounts, and it's a brand new building. Are you seeing something like that? Or are you talking about that you qualify based on assistance? Like you're getting help from the state, low income. Yeah, okay. So you're on the list. Yeah, so is it a brand new building? Because honey, I call them, they building brand new apartment buildings all over Arizona. And I hate to say, I call them a prison because they straight up, and it's just like they all look alike to me. There's nothing, like my apartment is unique because it's built in 1958. So it's the old, I mean, back in the day, it probably would have looked like every other apartment. But these are all these straight up. But underneath all of these, a lot of them have like restaurants, gyms. They're making us more urban. Do you know where it's located? Did they give you like streets and location? You tell me location, I'll tell you if it's decent. Tell me streets and location. Like if they give you a location, let me know and I can tell you if it's decent. You don't have to give like, just tell me the name of the street that it's on. And if it's in Phoenix. And then I'll ask, if you know cross streets, that would help. So if you pull it up on Google Maps and you can see the cross streets of where it's at, give me that. And I can tell you if it's decent or not. In the background, you can just send me an email to truckerdoll@gmail.com if you want to send me the address and I'll look it up. And I can tell you what the neighborhood is. I'm a native Arizonan. I know this state. I know this state. But they're building a lot of low income and regular apartments all over the valley. Now, Phoenix has stopped because of our water crisis, okay? Although, I don't know if they have a couple more things like California. I don't know if we're going to be around that long. We've got a lot going on right now. We're going to talk about in a minute. But Phoenix they've stopped their, I got gnats, y'all. I got gnats. Bastards. I hate them. Absolutely hate them. Anyway, Phoenix has stopped their building and allowing people to build anything new, okay, as far as residential. And we just had, I think Microsoft is building a brand new place out here. Google is building something out here. It's in the East Valley. I forgot who else. And I think Insight or one of them is building a semiconductor thing. Arizona used to be big for semiconductor industry. We used to be really big for it. And I don't know, Biden gave all that money back, so they might be coming here again. A lot of companies like coming here because Arizona's a right to work state. Unlike California where they got to abide by them rules, and if they dick employees over, they got to come out their butt. They don't want to do that. So Arizona's a perfect spot because then we got a right for you to work. You got to let you go if we want to without cause. So we're one of those states. And also, we don't have the natural disasters of everywhere else. So getting a job, once you get a job out here, if they're a decent company, you'll be fine. Our income's not going to be on the Chicago level, probably, of what you make out there. 20th Street, 600 North 20th Street. So 6th Street, 20th Street is that way. 600 North 20th Street. 20th Street. 20th Street. I'm going to look it up. I think It's going to be just north of the river bottom off of 20th Street, 24th Street, 600 North 20th Street. 600 North 20th Street. I'll look it up. Email me in the background. I'll look it up. But 20th Street is... It's that way. If it's north... Well... If it's north of the river bottom... If it's north of Washington, you're going to be semi-okay. Because it's going to put you near ASU. Well, also, so here's where everything sits. Right now, downtown Phoenix got totally redone several years back. And they put all three of the major universities. So our universities in Arizona are in three places. Tempe, Arizona, which is a suburb of where I'm at right now. That's where I kind of grew up part of my life. And I'm born in Tempe. Graduated high school in Tempe. So Tempe, Arizona is Arizona State University. Tucson, where I went to in the summer, where my aunt lived with her husband back in the day. Tucson had University of Arizona, okay? So that's two. Then north of us in Flagstaff was another university called NAU, Northern Arizona State University. What they did, which was genius, because Phoenix, downtown Phoenix was nasty. It was gross. It was just disgusting and old and tired and nothing down there other than a lot of state city buildings, okay? So what they turned around and did is they said they made some sort of arrangement with the universities and they brought each of the campuses a satellite campus downtown Phoenix, and they made Phoenix a college town. And that is the smartest move ever, because that's one of the best things that happened with Tempe. Tempe had two things going. It had a lot of semiconductor, and it had at the park too is another place. I was trying to Google it. Saw a lot of buildings around there. I would be working from home. Oh yeah, that's bomb. So I need to know cross streets, but I'm gonna look up the cross streets when I get off of here. Email me in the background and I'll email you back. Email me at TheDoll with that, but I'll look it up in the background and Google it so I can see, because I know where 20th Street is. The 600 is what's bothering me. I think. So what divides Phoenix as a city as a street called Central? And once you go east of Central, you're in the streets. When you go west of Central, in the avenues. Okay, I'm on the west side of Central. My problem is when you're going north and south. And I can't remember. I think Van Buren is the dividing street, but it might be Broadway. I think it's Van Buren. And if Van Buren is dividing street, then it's going to put you really close to downtown Phoenix. Either way, you're not bad from it. But if Van Buren is the dividing street, you're going to be really close to downtown Phoenix, which is not a bad area. Because, well, it is and isn't. You're going to be right in the heart of College City. Because everything I would say from, well, and so I'm in the 7th Avenue area. But everything more so from the 7th Avenue area, probably over to about 16th Street-ish. 7th Street would be more better. But between 7th Avenue and 7th Street, you got a lot of college stuff. But they spread out a little bit more for cost effectiveness. And then when you go outside of 7th Avenue West or 7th Street East, and 20th Street would be east of 7th Street, it's kind of a throw of the coin, depending on what cross street you're at. But it's not, to me, it's not bad either way. And you from Chicago, girl, bye. You can handle yourself. You look, you'll be fine. Matter of fact, most people from Chicago and New York, when they come out here and we like, oh, that's our projects, they think we're joking with them. They tell us our projects look like condos. Our projects are nice in comparison to like a Chicago or a New York projects. So most people like, you said it was what? Like, it was who? Yeah, I got a guy sits across from me. He's Chicago. He like, yeah. He said when they first got here, he like, projects. Whose projects? Who projects? Cause they look like condo. He's like, look like little townhomes. I said, yeah, that's our projects. And I had family who lived in the projects, but ain't nothing like Chicago or a New York. So if you're going to look at an apartment here, you're going to be like, oh, because they're going to be really nice. So yeah, it's going to be really nice. I can't tell you how the low income system works out here. I'm going to tell you, I think all of them have their issues, but I think that when you're in bigger cities like Chicago and New York, y'all deal with a lot more drama. I'm going to say this. My cousin lived off low income food stamp. My father's side of the family, them ninjas. Girl, bye. Them ninjas know how to work a system. She got her weight loss surgery done by the state of Arizona. Food stamps, apartment. Girl, bye. Big screen TVs, living really well. Tons of food in the house. Fat as hell. Even after weight loss surgery, gained it all back. Died. But that's what they did. They know how to work the system. That on some of Monty's folks, yeah, on my grandmother's side, them niggas know how to work a system. Excuse me, I'm sorry. I couldn't get $5. Them ninjas know how to work a system. I'm like, how do they? I worked all my life. Matter of fact, the daughter of the one who was really good at it, her daughter put on Facebook working on getting Social Security, and by the time it was over, my cousin was getting Social Security too. You know how to work the system. I'm very successful at it. Very good at it. Anyway, yeah, I'll look it up and then I'll tell you. But I can tell you, 20th Street's not bad depending where. And based on what you're telling me, if it's north of Van Buren, it might put you up. Van Buren. I think it's Van Buren, McDowell. 24th Street's not the best, but 20th Street would bring. I have to look. I'm trying to picture it in my mind right now. And I gotta picture it. So, and I used to live, there was an area over there I used to live off of between 24th and 32nd Street in the hood. And I mean, it was ghetto. The drug dealers helped me push my car to the mechanic. But the apartment was nice. I had a 2-bedroom, washer and dryer hookup, big apartment with a balcony. I was paying like $500 a month back then. And with a galley kitchen. And yeah, it was a nice apartment. And I was in the hood. But it was, like I said, they still there today. And they still look good to me because they was really good on that price. $500 a month. We was friends. Even back then. I was what? 20-some years old? 22 years old? Yeah. $500 a month ain't nothing. All right. I'm going to get into it because I got homework. I have not started the garden back up. I was looking at it when I came in. I need to get out there because I am concerned about stuff going on right now. Well, not concerned. Aware. That's a better way to put it. Very aware. So I'm going to ask this question, and people are going to watch it later because I came in here late tonight, and I just want to get thoughts. I'm not going to tell you what I'm thinking, but this is about the war part. But I'm going to give an analogy. So I know you and I are about the same age, or you might be a little younger than me. And I don't know if you remember that the moral of the story is, okay, so I'm going to ask this question. And I just, because I've been watching news, and I'm like, folks, it's just, all I can do is sit here and go, ooh, Jesus. I've been looking for paper towel. Look, y'all, it's right back here. So, although I am, because I had a dream about food. Okay, oh, you younger. Yeah, you younger than me about 10 years. So, but you're going to appreciate this, about 14 years. You'll appreciate this. So, and you from Chicago, so I want you to have some of that when I say this story. So this is my story. I'm making a story. I'm making a story to prove a point. It's going to be a moral of the story is. I want y'all to follow me. You have a home. You have family that lives in your house. There's folks on the other side of a fence that live in the neighborhood next to you. Most of the people in your neighborhood are very much like you. And the folks come from over the fence. They bust in your house. They rape. They kill. They destroy. They kidnap. They basically come up in your house and do just some foul crap. I'm just saying. You didn't go to their house. They came into your house. They busted down the door. They killed some folk. Didn't matter age. Didn't matter if it was a baby. Didn't matter if it was old, young, whatever. They raped folks. They took folks. They did all this in your house. In your house. Then they take some of your people back over across their fence to their house. To their house. And all of a sudden, other folks in other houses is saying they the victim, supporting them, and they done come up in your house and did all the pillaging. Can somebody help me comprehend? And now, if you go and whoop they behind, maybe kill them. You don't rape them, you don't kidnap them, but you kill them. Or you lock them up, put them in jail for what they did in your house. I need to understand, how do you support the ratchetness? Although we're doing it here in America, I'm going to get that in a minute. How do you support the ratchetness? Get behind them and say, woo woo, don't do that. You people who they did this to, y'all just need to leave them alone. I'm Christian. I love Jesus all day. This was not, we just got into a fight between me and you, and I got to turn the other cheek kind of situation. This is a much bigger situation, and justice needs to be served. Just saying. Why is it now? And this ain't the only time, I've seen it with other stuff too, that people are supporting ratchet behavior and calling ratchet people victims. I'm just curious. And it's not new, although we're seeing it on a grander scale with what's going on right now in the Middle East. But I saw it even here in America with all the racial divide under the previous administration and the whole, George Floyd thing, and God rest his soul. But I saw us flip a switch. I don't care if you was white, I don't care if you black, more so among minorities, were ratchet people, because they were a minority, could do ratchet stuff, and then they were the victim. I am having an issue. I have an issue. I'm sitting up here going, ooh-wee, because it's not making sense to me. And as a Christian, I pray for both sides. But I am going to say I'm leaning on the side of the person you went in their house. You came out of your yard, you busted into somebody's house, and you acted a fool. I'm also going to say that when choices are made, and you are part of that group, unless you can break away from that group, there's a repercussions for the actions. So let me kind of say this. So one of my associates on here, she's a truck driver. And while I saw what happened to her and I think it was deplorable, I understand the law, okay? And it's a sad law, but it also has its own merit. So here in the state of Arizona, and I believe this is a law in other states as well. As a matter of fact, I have two people I know. One guy who was in my Bible study, his son got caught up. And this young lady, based on what she told me, I don't know what's true, what's false. She happened to be going to a convenience store with her cousin, I don't know, convenience store, liquor store, whatever. She said she wasn't going in the back of the store to get in the cooler section. I'm going to say back. I'm presuming what she's telling me is not too far away. She's getting a drink. her crazy cousin decides to hold up the convenience store, liquor store, whatever it was. In the process, the owner shoots, she gets shot in the back, people get arrested, and she goes to prison for 8 years as part of an armed robbery. Okay? That's one story. Let's jump to another story. One of the guys who belonged to my old church, his son and some friends, similar thing, went to go hold up somebody. I believe somebody died in his situation where it was a robbery. And his son, I don't know if he was a driver, whatever, he was not a shooter, but he was with the people. And his son went to prison. And his son was 17, 18 years old. And I think last I heard he was still in prison. So he had a long sentence as well. It's a very sad state of affairs. And like I said, I had a situation happen when I was younger. I was in my early 20s. And I realized that it was a good lesson, and praise God for his hand on my life even back then. I actually happened to be hanging with some friends. Let's say friends. I was invited to a Christmas party from a coworker when I was working for Sprint long distance operator. We used to all sit together, and she invited me, another lady, Spanish girl, a couple black folks. She was black, and she invited us to her house, and she was cooking, and for like a I think it's Christmas, I think it was Thanksgiving, might have been Thanksgiving. And so I went because we used to talk all the time. I was like, okay, I stopped through, never again. So I did not know her. I knew her in just casual conversations. I can't remember. I might have even given her a ride home one time. Back then, and this again was in my 20s. And we're sitting there at the house, and she's like, oh, she said, girl, you want to go ride with us? I was like, no, I'm good. She go, come on, girl, we're just going to ride. I got to go pick something up. I had no idea. So the Spanish girl who was there, we go into a city in Tempe, it's on the border of Tempe, called Guadalupe. She stopped at her cousin's house. I'm not knowing what's going on. They're buying cocaine. Had that car got pulled over, my life would be a different life, okay? So I getting caught up, but also what I get is you better know who the hell you're dealing with. And it has taught me that I got to know people and know who I'm dealing with. And that lesson is, there's lessons that sit with you in life. So I need to know, one of the reasons I don't deal with family, like there's some stuff I've just come to a conclusion. There's certain stuff I'm not going to deal with. I got a buddy of mine. He had his sister who passed away. He has some ratchet family members, and he still, and I understand you may love family, but when you have family that'll bring you down into their pit or bring their demons into the place, I'm like, bro, you don't want to do this. So he's gonna ask the ratchet sister of theirs, who the mom, his own mama knew her daughter was crazy. All of her kids cry, okay? He's like, oh, I'm going to have her stay with the sister who had Alzheimer's. I said, I don't think that's a good idea. I said, your sister who you have to stay with her, I said, you already know she got too many issues. And then all her offspring, with the exception of one, is crazy. And they do all sorts of foul things. That's what I told him. Plus, you don't want her coming in because the sister he was having sex with had money. I said, you don't want them coming in there. I said, I don't get a good vibe from this. Oh no, I'm gonna be watching her. And I'm like, are you delusional? But I realize there are people who are just delusional. They just, I don't know, delusional, or they want to stay in ignorance. I don't know, or they can't be real about stuff. I'm a real person. And it's like, I try to understand. I'm gonna scratch my head trying to comprehend why people stay in foolishness and why people continue to interact with crazy butthole people. I don't, and not have a boundary. Even if you're going to deal, like I dealt with Monty, but Monty, how can I put it? There were certain boundaries. There's stuff that we had, and we were more friends, but there was a line. I can't explain it, but we both understood our lines. And he for dang sure understood, because I'm not a hard read. There's certain stuff I can't help you with. And there's certain stuff when I'm just like this. I don't care anymore. So I have lines. Hey, Kathy, what's up? How's the weather? How you doing? But there's certain lines, and I believe that sometimes associations you need to be very careful with. And so people can get caught up, and it's a choice that you make as to what you're going to be involved in. And so people make choices to be involved with foolishness, and people make choices not to. But I find that some people align themselves with crazy. And I'm trying to wrap my head around it, even though I realize I think part of it's spiritual, but I don't understand it. I'm doing good, doing real good. I'm gonna have some more news for y'all here in probably end of November. And if y'all notice, anybody go back to the other videos that we've been doing live, if I talk about something, I've been privating them or enlisting them. I do it for a reason, because I don't know if certain folks, until I make certain announcements, are maybe watching. So I basically talk to y'all, but if I bring something up that I'm concerned is gonna go to folks, then I private it, and then I'll probably after the end of November I'll end up putting them back up, because I have some lives that we talked about stuff, and I'm like, yeah, let's take that off temporarily until I handle some other stuff. Hold on, y'all. Anywho, I literally just walked in this house like 10 minutes ago. I still got homework to do. I ain't even done that yet. I'm so tired. I'm supposed to do a paper. I'll see if it gets done, and I might get done late. I ain't worried about it. I'm so tired. I am tired. But my biggest issue with what's going on right now with the war, I feel almost the same way I feel with associations. I'm trying to understand how people can justify getting behind a group. And oh, well, it's not that. It was that one group within that culture, or within that, within that culture that did this. Okay, let me help you out something. When we had that previous administration, if old boy, even though we not agree with him, would have went to war or something happened, we's in a war, because we elected that genius into that office. There's tons of stuff he did. I thought cray as heck. I don't like the present one as much either. I'm not as bad as I didn't like that other one, but I don't like the present person in there either. And not that I don't. I just see issues. I'm not saying some of his stuff I see, I understand, but I don't care for him either. I don't care for him either. They need but I understand why both of them was in office. Exactly, I understand why both of them. This is all spiritual stuff, so I understand why both of them is in office. But I don't like either one of them. But if somebody came over here and came up into this house, I want you to take everything we got and go kick their behind if you can. If you can. Defend. Point blank, period. And I'm sorry, it's the cost of war. What's going on in Ukraine? God, unfortunately, there's innocent people dying over there. Old boy's wrong, but if they go back and blow up over into Russia and innocent people die in that, it's the cost of war. If everybody would mind their own business, we wouldn't be there. But your government that you elected went up into somebody else's house. And now you're going to align yourself, other people aligning themselves with the victimizer, not the victim. I have a problem with that. I'm like sitting there going, this is really, I'm like, what kind of crack are people smoking? They went up in somebody's house, killed, raped, burnt, kidnapped, and now you got a problem because I done went over and start bombing and blowing up and killing? Child, bye. Child, bye. I cannot. My heart goes out to everybody involved. But on the reality, they got the right. You come up in this house and you go do all of that. I love Jesus all day long. It's on like Donkey Kong. It's going to be on. Point blank, period. Casualties of war. You shouldn't have come up in my house. You should have mind your own business and we wouldn't be here. And it's the same way, and people get mad at me, some of my close best friends, when I see some of the things that my people, I'm black, and you mad because the cop tased them or shot them, and he told them to stand right there. He's the authority. And if you did something wrong, there's a way to handle it. You're doing too much. Stop. Stand at the car. The cop been called out on something. You gonna sit there. The cop say sit there. You gonna get in the car and start driving, and then you get shot up. And then we all like, oh, the cop is wrong. The cop. What went to Mr. I can't pay attention? I would have shot him, and I'm black. I don't know what you're doing. I don't even know what you're grabbing and you're getting in your car for. You could be getting in your car for a gun. It's me or you. There's this weird thinking. I'm like sitting there going, Lord, I'm confused. I'm really, really confused right now. Because I'm watching it. All right, Chicago, have a good night. Let me know if you come here, if you move to Arizona. Let me know if you move here. And there's plenty of work from home. I'm going to tell you that right now. It's usually like 75% work from home, going to office 1 week. But there's plenty. Yeah, I'm just seeing the war thing has got me. And what's also got me is people that are like living life like they don't think nothing of it. And I'm thinking, y'all ain't realizing what's going on. I've been on the premise that war is going to come to America. I've been on that premise that something is coming here. It's not what I want. It's just kind of it's the gear parts that I'm seeing moving. And what's coming to my mind is that something's going to come to our shores. Because we think we're so untouchable, kind of like 9/11. No, I think we all were stunned because we're sitting in a place where we never saw anything touching us. And my concern about the present administration is he's trying to get along with everybody, and especially certain people you don't want to rub shoulders with. That Iranian stuff, you don't want to rub shoulders with them people. I don't trust nothing. That's like Putin. I didn't trust. That was what bothered me about prior administration. Him and Putin was like this. I don't trust none of them. I don't believe in that me and my friends can be enemies. I mean, me and my enemies can be friends. I believe your enemy, especially those kind of enemies, are still your enemies. Point blank, period. And the thinking of that group of people is very different, especially when you understand some of their religious thought, how they're taught. It's a very, very different cup of tea. So, yeah, because for you to go do what they did, that's some different thing. Hell, 9/11, that's some different thinking. Who does that? Oh, I'm going to kidnap planes, and I'm going to fly them into a building, and I'm going to have my 18,000 virgins or whatever they teach them. And I'm doing this to bring down us. Why are you coming out of your house into my house? I'm sorry. I got issues. It's not making sense to me. I just got issues. People are upset about Afghanistan. And granted, there was probably some other stuff, but we did find out later when they went and got old boy, he was hiding out there in the tunnels when they killed bin Laden. I don't know. It's just, I'm just sitting up there going, I'm not understanding. And I'm not understanding how all of a sudden, am I sad for me? I'm going to pray for you. But you might want to talk to your government about coming up into people's houses and then expecting nothing to come back to your land or to your house. Like I told my friend, your associations are associations. If you got your crazy family member in your house, and they know crazy, they're going to bring crazy to your house. I don't care that it's your sister. You need to tell her to go somewhere and stay away from you so you don't have crazy come to your house. But if you have an association with crazy and you have crazy living in your house and crazy go do something, then crazy going to come to your house. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. That's why associations are critical, and you got to know who the hell you're dealing with. If you know that the government you got is bringing in a bunch of drama, then they need to go. But y'all have, hey, we want this government. Okay. Do you, boo-boo. But that's an association in your house. And if that association go do something crazy and then come back to your house, there's going to be repercussions at your house. So you need to find a way to deal with your crazy people. Otherwise, it's hard for me to have sympathy because you let crazy come back into your house. And now you're upset because folks retaliating against your crazy and you are and you're going to be a casual damage. Okay? It's just, unfortunately, it's going to be damage there because they're coming after the crazy in your house. My buddy moved that crazy sister in with the other sister. The other sister's cool, but you move crazy in. Next thing you know, she moved her crazy grandson in. And next thing you know, your crazy grandson, who's his nephew, is pulling a gun on you. Because you let crazy in your house. I'm just saying. I've learned some vital lessons. And some people probably don't like me because, no, I'm not being mean. I'm being real. Because associations can jack you up. So you need to know who you're dealing with. That's why that law is there. You better know who the people are that you're hanging with. Because if you don't, folks can get caught up and you hanging with, oh, he cool. Cocaine in the car. I could have a different life. Going to get a drink with some family members. If you know the family member crazy, you need not to be with them. Ninja gonna pull a gun. Next thing you know, you shot in the back, 8+ years in prison because cray cousin. Associations have repercussions. Your association went up into somebody's house and did the most. And now you trying to be mad at the people whose house they went into because the people coming back at you say, oh no, you ain't gonna come in my house and act a fool. I'm getting ready to show you what that is. And now you upset because now they coming to you and they blowing up your house. Associations have repercussions. You better know who the hell you dealing with. That's why we happy that the prior cuckoo is out. Because he wasn't wrapped tight and he had some weird associations. That's why we have people hanging on the Capitol. Because there's associations. And the sad part is that whole party that he was part of is a hot mess even now. Because they let something come up in their house thinking they could control it. And now they got craziness all up in there. Can't even decide on a speaker. Because associations have repercussions. You better know who you're dealing with. I'm just telling you, I've learned the moral of the story is. And I'm sorry. Backing certain people have repercussions. You backing them. Y'all want to be in power position. And you backing crazy. And then next thing you know, it bit you in the butt when you saw your people hanging on the building, threatening you. You hunkered down, threatening to kill you and do all sorts of stuff to you. Repercussions, associations. But you want to be in power position, so you rather associate with foolishness. Deuces. Anyway, off that bandwagon. I was sharing with everybody. I put a little napkin in here because I got gnats. I went to Dutch Brothers, and this is a green smoothie, but it's probably the ice that's coming up. It's a green apple smoothie, y'all. And the whipped cream initially make you think you eating a green apple pie. And then when the whipped cream is gone, that green apple Dutch Brothers, we need to call it green crack because that is. I had to go back today and get one. It was on my mind all night last night. I went to get a coffee yesterday and they had a little bitty cup. She said, "You want to try the kitty cup of it?" Absolutely. I couldn't get out the parking lot good. I almost turned back around and got another one. I was like, oh my God. But then I had my big coffee drink. It was so damn good. I can't tell y'all, it was so good. Trying to think what else I wanted to tell y'all. So I told my moral story. Y'all, if anybody watches this later, comment below. I want to know what you think. I know we got a lot of people, oh, the poor so-and-so. Did you see that baby burn up on that bed? Did you see them people come over the fence shooting them kids at that concert? Did you see them bust up in the city and take open? I just need to understand. Did I miss something? Let me go back. Let me go back and watch that. And you supporting the victimizer? To me, that goes back to the whole Chester molester thing. And there's people that's like that, and I realize there's a spirit behind it. Tell us another story. Here in Arizona, this is on the news several years back. A white lady. Her daughter was killed by, so the white lady's boyfriend, so the mama, she the mama of the daughter. The mama's boyfriend killed her child, okay? Not his daughter, it was her child, okay? Her daughter. They go to interview her. I remember it like it was yesterday because it blew me back because I had to do this. They go to interview this lady and they're like, well, how do you feel about the situation with this guy? I can't believe he did that. I don't think that was him. He wouldn't do something like that. Wait for it. Multiple CPS calls to the house that her man was abusing the kids. I don't believe he would do something like that. And she was there to support the victimizer. I don't understand. It is the most bizarre thing to me. And I know there's people like it. I know there's a spirit behind that. My mother and pervy stepfather. There's people who they will support the victimizer. They'll stick with the victimizer. I'm like, and it's very warped. It's very sick. It's very twisted. It's demonic. But it's sad at the same time. And I'm seeing that now, and I'm just sitting up here, okay. And I'm wondering why, and the Bible does say there's this weird hatred for Israel, for the Jews. I don't know what that is. Well, I do what it is. It's demonic, but it's okay. Not okay good, but okay in understanding. But it's just like, I'm like, people, and it's gnats. I got gnats, y'all. I got gnats. Do people not, do they not think? That's really what I want to say. I'm not understanding. Do they not think? It's the weirdest. Look, you see me up here grabbing my head. Because I sat there and I was sitting there watching the news. I'm like, this is just really bizarre. It's bizarre. Oh, tell y'all a quick story. I ain't gonna be on too much longer. I'm at the laundromat today, and y'all saw the picture I put up. If y'all see the little live thing, there's the thumbnail. Y'all see all those suds on the floor? So I'm in the laundromat next to the big, I use a 60-pound washer, whatever. I have my jackets. I put everything, all my colored clothes in there. And then I did my whites right around the corner from it. And so my stuff is done. Lady comes in with some rugs. She has 2 rugs. I don't say 5 by 5, maybe. One of them was even smaller than that. She puts them in that big washer, which was way too big for what she was doing, but that's okay. So she put them in there, and then I guess she got some more rugs. I didn't even see her with the other rugs. I just saw those 2 when she put them in there. I was already taking my stuff to the dryer, and I came back, and her stuff was going. So she's over there. She falls asleep. She gets up. She goes to the washer, y'all. So that's a commercial washer with a big glass mirror or window, right? Plastic, glass, whatever it is. You see the suds all the way up to the top, which tell me you put too much soap in, but that's okay. Why did you go open the door? Girl, she opened the door. Everything just went. I jump up, have to go to the other table, and then she's looking. I said, ma'am, you're going to have to go get the attendant. Water and suds all over the floor. Now, the machine should have locked. That's number one. So that's an issue because it's supposed to lock before it starts. Kathy, girl, I was like, is she remedial? Because I'm not understanding. I would have appreciated if you couldn't see what was going on. But this is a 60-pound washer with this, like this, right? Big, like this. The suds is up here, homie. And Chicky opens it up. Just as dumb and was shocked when the water and suds went. What the hell's wrong with you? So, lady from the attendant comes with all the towels and the mop, and she starts cleaning it up. And the lady come over. So after the lady cleans it up, the chick starts the washer again. Does not add soap. So this tell you how much dang soap she put in there. I don't know what the hell she's doing, Kathy, if she's on. So I don't know. Maybe she Alzheimer's. I don't know. I was like, I'm not understanding. I don't understand. I would have never opened that up. Anyway. She starts this dang washer back up. I don't know how much soap she put in there, Kathy. She didn't even put no more soap in it. And the suds rebuilt all over again. That's how much soap was in there. And the laundry attendant, I said, wow. And she looked at me and she just like shook her head. I said, dang, she didn't even put no more soap in there. And the suds are built back up. This laundry attendant said, dang. And dang wasn't what she said. She said the other word. And I started laughing because I'm like, it was just really weird. I got nothing. Today was a weird day. A weird day. So yeah, I got out and I did that and I went and got fuel, just came back, gotta eat, gotta work on homework. I will tell y'all this one other story. This is about my current job and I'm gonna leave it on here. So I've obtained my year at the current job. And my first year, they don't give you any vacation. They give you what they call emergency time off. I think that's what it's called. They give you sick paid leave, which you don't earn a lot of. And then once you hit your anniversary, you get 80 hours, okay? So I hit my anniversary on the 17th. Now, I had already planned I'm taking all of November off, okay? So as soon as I came in on the 17th, we have a system, which is our workforce management system, that we enter any request for vacation, emergency time, enter it in. Y'all got to hear this. So I enter everything in. Everything except for 3 days are approved, and then 3 days are on wait list. I've used everything for my sick pay, my vacation that I earned my 80 hours. I had over 80 hours of emergency time off, so that's how I knew I was going to get the whole month. I booked all of that except for 3 days, okay? 3 days is all I could not get, right? These folks right here. So I took half an hour on Friday, because Friday's after the 17th, of vacation time to get out a little early. I used SPL, which I had, and then a half an hour. So I kept getting the error message in the timesheet. So you request and get your approval in one system, which is the workforce system. And in the timesheet system is where you enter in the time that you've been approved for and what you've worked. I do all my entering. And I get an error saying, you ain't got no vacation time. No, homie, I got vacation time. Nets. I got vacation time. What the heck you talking about? Wait for it. I'm going to ask y'all what you do. So my supervisor comes, I said, hey, one of the guys on the team said, oh, Shannon, I had that happen. And I was on this other team, and the supervisor submitted some kind of email, and they fixed it. I said, okay. So my supervisor come back, and he's like, oh, if it's not in the timesheet, which is the payroll system, then you can't truly schedule it. What the hell you say? I earned this on the 17th. You guys told me to wait a year. It's showing in the place where we do all of our other time requests. It has been approved. But you talking about the systems don't talk to each other. So because y'all got this thing still broken and they're not talking to each other like they should, I'm supposed to be penalized. So he's like, well, your attendance is really good. You can take this as unscheduled paid time off or unpaid time off. The hell you say? And you can make it up. No, Ninja, I'm not making up anything. Y'all just have to pay me for it. And right now, do whatever you want. But as of the 30th of this month, y'all ain't gonna see me. Because this should all be done. You told us when we started that at our 1 year anniversary, we get this much time. Now you trying, which it seems janky to me, right, Kathy? Which seems very janky. To say, oh, because this system, which is where we do our times, where we get our times, where you schedule your times, where you get approval, has everything in it, but the payroll system, which is the timesheet, don't show the time. I'm supposed to inconvenience myself because your stuff don't work. No, homie, ain't gonna tell me to take time that your system told me I'm approved for, not paid, and oh, you can make it up. Ciao, bye. Like I said, I'm going to have news at the end of November. Y'all are smoking some huge crack. Never heard of no crap like that in my life. I was like, okay. And like I said, when I got there, things were very easy. But sometimes God does stuff in order to say, okay, it served its purpose. I'm like, amen. Thank you, Lord. I got the bucket, the new to me car. Praise Jesus. It gave me some other time to get some other stuff together. And then God has done some other things. We're going to leave it there. And I'll tell more in the end of November. But yeah, I was like, who the hell? I never heard of that. Never, ever heard of that. Never heard of that. You need to fix that. That right there is janky. Janky. And tell me, oh, it's going to be 2 weeks before it updates. So you telling me I got my time, the system's approved my time, and I'm supposed to take any time, if I take it in the next 2 weeks as unpaid, and then you want me to make the time up. Y'all got 1 week for this hopefully to be fixed. After that, you can do what you want to do. I ain't going to worry about it. You're going to end up paying me one way or another. I'm just saying. Because it's earned vacation time. You owe me. You owe me, homie. I'm sorry. And I did my year. Thank you, and good night. Yeah, it's been kind of special. But other than that, everything, absolutely no sense. And the day it happened, I was hot as fish grease, as my friend would say. And some of my people who are on my prayer group, I said, y'all need to pray for me because my temper was, woo, baby. The other Shannon was at the table. I'm like, this right here. Y'all, they special. I had no idea. Because I went in there, did what I was supposed to do, go home. I don't get caught up. But enough has happened to where I'm like, okay, I see who you are now. Maya Angelou said, if they show you who they are, believe them. Oh, I'm going to say this and then I'm going to get off here because it's almost an hour. I think Tyler Perry's doing a movie. It's kind of reminding me that Tyler and, what's my boy's name? Kirk Franklin, are dealing with some childhood things. And I really, I hate to say I like it, but I do like it because a lot of times we don't talk about our stuff, especially Black people, and we don't talk about our damages. And those damages translate into our adulthood. Part of what was wrong with Monty, too. Monty had some childhood traumas that I don't think he really put that way because I think they're kind of crazy in his family in general. So he ended up turning it into what he made it almost like it was humorous. But when he told me about it and I sat back and I pondered it, it was a childhood trauma, a major childhood trauma. Ooh, I just got a t-shirt over there. I realized I didn't put it in my dirty clothes, but it's okay. It was a major childhood trauma. And it had an impact. Even though he played it off like it didn't. There's no way in hell it couldn't have. And then there were some other traumas that he mentioned. So I like the fact that Tyler Perry, as well as Kirk Franklin, if you haven't watched Kirk Franklin's little thing on YouTube, but Tyler Perry is also doing a, I think it's like Maxine's Baby or something like, which is supposed to be his story. So I remember him doing some kind of an interview and he mentioned, and again, I don't know what's true or false, he mentioned that somebody had broken into their house or something like that. And I think he thinks he is the product of a rape that happened to his mother, and she got pregnant during that rape. I think that's what took place. I don't know. I'm not sure of all of the details. At least that's the interview I remember. I could be wrong, but I think that's the interview I remember. I don't know if this is going to touch on that. And I was trying to find that because me and another friend were talking about it, and I can't remember. I thought I saw it on YouTube. But there was something that happened, and then the father that was his father in the house, he hated him, and he treated him very poorly. And probably because he knew it wasn't his child. But there's people who do that. And I just, like I had my great grandmother, she was a very evil person. You have people who are just evil. And they're malicious and they're vicious. And I met them along my journey. It's like they're just, like Monty said back in the day. He said, I used to practice being a butthole. The problem was, granted, he was better than where he was. But he still had a lot of because it became so entrenched in his DNA, his personality DNA, that it was a natural thing for him. So and the Bible says there are people who practice wickedness and they don't even know what makes them wicked. They wake up doing wickedness. They don't even know why. They just wake up being wicked. And there's people that are like that. And so I saw that, and it's like Tyler Perry's mama. I could tell Tyler Perry, Kirk Franklin's mama. I was like, ooh, it goes back to exactly what I just said. There's a point, I think he said he hadn't seen his mom for like 23 years, something like that. Kirk Franklin. There's a point where you have to have freedom. God bless them. You pray they get their stuff correct, but if they don't, you leave them in their madness. Because you can't, as that old saying, you can't save everybody, you can't make people change. People are going to be who they're going to be. And if people decide to be in wickedness, let them be in their wickedness. If they decide to be a-holes and stay in their a-holeness, let them stay there. Yeah. The mama was cray-cray, extra cray-cray. And you gonna sit there and, oh, well, no, I know. I'm like, oh my God, this woman is not for real. And you could tell she was special. The aunt was special too, because the aunt pissed me off on how she was talking to Kirk Franklin. And Kirk was really, he did better than me, because I wouldn't have probably even cared what they thought. I would have went to the daddy and I would have talked to him, and then I would have been like, because you already know crazy and crazy. Your aunt and your mama they're showing you who they are. Deuces. And if they were unwilling to admit, like my mother barefaced lied to me about stuff. I never said that. Yeah, you did. Yeah, you did. At that point in time and some other things, I was done. I haven't seen my mother since I got sick at 29. I am 55. I have not seen her. I'm trying to think. Yeah, I haven't seen her since age 29. Yeah, I did it for me. I was done. And I'm 55. I tell you anything. Not hate. There was hate for a while. Because when God really showed me everything, I was there. Right. Yeah, when you saw that, he asked her. And the problem is, you have people, and what it is a pride thing. It's a pride thing because I want to live in my lie. She wants to live in her lie instead of come clean. And there's people who live in their lies. Grumpy was a narcissist. Monty lied for years about being what did he say was? A respiratory therapist. He was never a respiratory. He didn't even finish school. He did work somehow in respiratory, probably because he was probably going through his training and ended up with a little job that was part of the program. He did, but he was not a respiratory therapist. I think he like a tech or somebody. That's all he was, assistant, something like that. He was not a therapist. He never finished. Okay. But he lied. He told family members he was the first black engineer at the railroad in Texas. He had a whole bunch of like, and then my cousin called. Well, Shannon, you didn't put in the obituary that he was the first black engineer at the railroad. Because Monty wasn't. He wasn't. Well, yeah, he was. I said Monty lied a lot, Lynette. He lied a lot, and he was not the first black engineer at the railroad. As a matter of fact, let me help you out. He wasn't an engineer. He was the dude who switched the tracks and did the break. He was called a brakeman switchman. That's what he did. He was not an engineer. That's what he did. He hopped on and off the train to switch the tracks. That's what he did. He was never an engineer. Now, he trained people. He did do that on how to switch the tracks. And I'm not negating. It was a hard job. But he tried to make himself seem a lot more than what he was. And so people thought he was balling. He's an engineer. He's making... Child bye. So there's people who live in their pride and they're trying to be more than what they are. And the mama or she don't want to deal with the truth. And that's what it just bothers me. Don't even lie. Just say, I don't want to talk about it. You know? And that I would have appreciated that from her. Because then I would have said, okay, she's ashamed. I would have appreciated that. Kathy, I can't with you right now. Homie, you said he engineered the switch. I cannot with you right now. He engineered switching the track, right? That's funny as hell. Oh my God, that's funny as hell. That's funny. Yeah. But you know, my thing is, just say, I don't want to talk about it. We've all done something and maybe we're not proud of it. Maybe we're embarrassed. Maybe it's stuff we did in stupidity, ignorance, whatever. And you don't want to talk about it, you want it between you and God, then, and people maybe come at you with it, then just say, I don't want to talk about it. I don't want to go there. You know, I'm gonna leave it there. What's done is done. And at that point, I will appreciate that more than just barefaced making up some lie. I'm like, next. Yeah. That's like I was done with my mother because it was a couple barefaced lies with her, and I was like, we're done. And it's a pride thing. What it is that they don't want to be called on their stuff. And they don't want to admit to they screw ups. And so they want to stay in their pride. See, when you humble, you're going to say, yeah, I messed up. And I don't want to talk about it anymore. I messed up. Leave it alone. She could have stopped right there. No. And the crazy sister talking to him crazy. He just want to know the truth. Well, you need to go too, because I don't like the way you talking to me. Like I'm a 5-year-old. Who the hell you talking to? Get the hell up out of here. Like I said, he was way, and he was way nicer than me. Because where I'm at in my life now, I'll be alone first. I'll be alone first. I'll be by myself. I'll be lonely before I can't do it anymore. And there's plenty of people who. I got friends of mine right now. They living in total ratchetness with ratchet, crazy-ass people. God forgive me for putting it that way. They are. And I get praying for people afar, but you don't bring folks in your house with madness. And they bring in straight craziness in their home. Straight craziness. I'm also say this about this channel because I actually have made comments on other people's channels. Some of them are Christian. And if they go in here to investigate who I am, I keep it 100% real. I'm not trying to be perfect. And a lot of my older videos, you'll see the Shannon who's maybe backslidden. I have not really removed those videos. And the reason I haven't is because I believe life is a journey. And I believe when we're in this journey, we see when God steps in. I see that some people will get saved and all of a sudden what was in the past, they might take off of YouTube like, I know who you were before. And or they try to present something else. The reality is we all got saved from something. And I'm not. We all got saved from something. That's the reality. The only ones I have right now, Kathy, which I was saying earlier, because I have some things going on right now that I'll announce at the end of November. If we've talked about something in a live that may impact some of my moves for November, I put those on, I think I put them on unlisted, which means that if you've seen them, you can still get back to them. But if you haven't seen them, you can't. So I put them on listed once everything is solidified at the end of November. I will then make them public again because I'm really not worried about them. But right now, I've had to unlist them for now. And then I'll make them public. But like our last few conversations, I said a few things that I'm just going to, I wanted to put them where they at right now. This one I'm not going to list because I've said what I said and I don't really care. But yeah, there's stuff that's going on right now, and I'm looking and I'm watching people, even close friends of mine, and I'm like, are you seeing what I'm saying? Because I believe we're going to be in a war. It's not a doubt in my mind. I really, we are kind of already caught up, okay? And I do believe we should support Israel. That's just my view. That is a relationship we had. There's a lot of reason. You so silly, Kathy. I'm not typing all that up. You be fine. It's good news. It's not, well, yeah, it's good news for me. It's good news. I don't know about anybody else, but it's real good news for me. But it's be around the end of November. Maybe not that long. I just got to wait for some things to happen. But I'm going to be off from our job that I'm at right now for I'm actually going to be off for the whole month. Even the days that I'm on wait list for, if I don't get approved for those, I have to call them out because I have other things planned. I'm also taking care of some medical stuff. My doctor is retiring. I'm so depressed. She retiring. I've had her, I think I got her back in 2011, 10. And I think we're about the same age, but I'm also jealous. I wish I could retire. I need to hit that Powerball lottery something because I need some money because I would be retired yesterday and have me a tiny home on a piece of land or get me a manufactured home and call it a day and be traveling around. She said, I'm going to try to whip your way to get my sauce. I still haven't made sauce yet. I still got to make sauce. I need to I'm going to make some more vanilla. One of my vanilla bottles broke, girl. The one that was the fullest, too. I need to go order some more vanilla. I got to find where I can get vanilla beans better because I did Amazon, but Amazon done got kind of high. I'm pissed off because I'm Amazon Prime, and I haven't bought from Amazon Prime in a minute. They getting kind of pricey. I'm like, what in the heck is going on with Amazon? Look, I'm going to Walmart, and I hate Walmart. I had to go to Walmart for oil change, y'all. But that was a God. God was in that. God was in that because there was a whole ministry thing that happened at my car for the guy who worked on my car. God was in that. He was in that. But the channel, no, I'm not. I'm keeping everything. Stealing from us. Who's stealing from us? Explain. I'm lost. You see, I'm dealing with a hair down there. You know, I'm dealing with a whisker. Stealing from us. Who's stealing from us? Oh, Amazon? Or Walmart? Girl, I don't know what they doing. They done pissed me off because I was like, I used to go to Amazon and buy everything. Oh, but they do have that fresh 50. If you buy $50 worth of groceries, you get $50 extra. I mean, you buy $100 worth of groceries, you get $50 off on the Amazon Fresh. If you Amazon Prime. And I'm thinking about doing that. I haven't done it yet. I went to Food City today, and I'm in the craving a stew. Yeah. You buy $100. You done it already? You get the Amazon. So I'm thinking about doing that. I haven't done it yet, but I'm thinking about doing it. Girl, I'm so tired right now. Anyway, I was trying to think what else. I told y'all about the green apple smoothie. Dutch Brothers, y'all need to go do this. I'm not sponsored, but Dutch Brothers, y'all can holler at me. Your green apple smoothie should be called green crack. Because I want another one. I already want another one. You see, I didn't drink it. That bad boy is good. Oh my God. That green apple? Yes. I'm going to make a stew. I made chili. Oh, I'll share this with y'all. I made something called pumpkin chili. I was watching a van lifer. He did it. So I'll share this with y'all. Whatever your normal chili recipe is, I have mine. All he did was take all the ingredients were chili mix. Everything he did was a chili, base chili. And I'll usually do meat chili, but you do meat, the beans, all that. So it's base meat, bean chili. All the normal ingredients. but you add a can of pureed pumpkin mix. So I was like, because you know when we think of pumpkin pie. I'm like, and pumpkin pie is okay. I prefer sweet potato pie, but pumpkin pie is okay too. But I was like, why would you put pumpkin in the chili? But then I had to step back because I'm a cook. And I think about it because he didn't do anything. Well, he might have put cinnamon in there. I wouldn't do the cinnamon. And I did try it with the cinnamon on the side because one of the recipes I looked up for the pumpkin chili did tell you cinnamon. I did do it in a bowl on the side. I didn't do it in the recipe because that bothered me. It just didn't sit right in my brain because I'm a flavor person. And I'm a spice person. So Kathy, whoever else watches this, I decided to try it. It is absolute genius. Let me explain. So when I thought about it, I said, wait a minute, you're not putting really any sugar in here. Well, there's a couple recipes that does, but you're not for the most part. You're not doing all of the necessary spices that come with pumpkin for the most part. There was a couple recipes I saw that did do that, and I was like, it's odd to me. I did the pumpkin, and what I thought, pumpkin is simply a squash. Listen to you, I'm going to tell you what it does. It's bomb. Pumpkin is simply a squash. Okay, that's all it is. And you're supposed to use a can of pureed pumpkin. He did that plus regular chili. Now, when I do my chili, to thicken my chili, I usually do a masa flour slurry. And I pour that in to make the sauce of the chili thick because I like a thick chili. You don't need to do that. If you use that can of pumpkin, it thickens that chili right up. I was like, this is flipping genius. You're putting some pumpkin in there, which is good. Squash is it's a good vegetable. You put it in there, it makes it thicker. Now, some people said they could taste it a little bit. I couldn't taste it. But what I was thinking is, because squash to me always has kind of a nutty flavor to it. Most squash have a little nuttiness to it. Some have a slight sweetness, but usually just a butter or nutty kind of flavor. It made that chili so nice and thick. Wonderful. So that's what I thought about. It's like, well, it might work because pumpkin is a squash. Most squash have a little nutty flavor. So without making it sweet, it should add maybe a little hint of the nuttiness. I didn't really taste that. And I gave it to one of my baby boys at work. He's from Chicago, as a matter of fact. Sits across from me, and I made some and brought it in. He took it home. Next day, he said, I've been waiting for you to come in. So I'm Fluffy Grandma at work. Fluffy Grandma. That chili was fire. He said it was fire. I was like, oh, okay. I'm happy you enjoyed it, baby boy. He said that was fire. I was like, okay, I'm happy. I was cracking up. He kept talking about it all day. He said, yeah. I was like, well, I brought another girl some. Her name is Marche, but Marche said she doesn't do chili. She doesn't like chili. I've never met people who don't like chili. That is just really bizarre to me when I meet people who don't like chili. I get if you don't like fish. Oh, the Fluffy Grandma? Yeah, that's my nickname at work. Everybody, and they tell me I'm the best. I'm their best Fluffy Grandma. They love it. You're the best Fluffy Grandma. We love you. We love Fluffy Grandma. As a matter of fact, one of my children, I call her the kids because they're like 20. Some of these babies is 20, 30 years old. So they own up to be my kids or grandkids. As if I had kids. And so one of them, she'd never eaten pho. So I introduced her to pho. There's a pho place up the street. So she went for the first time and had pho with me, and she loved it. And just a sweetheart. Just an absolute sweetheart. Anyway, y'all, it's 78 minutes. I'm going to try to be on here next Saturday or Sunday. It'll probably be earlier in the day because I got to get up early on the 30th. I'm doing a lot of appointments, and I'm having some scheduled stuff that I'm doing. So like I said, the whole month of November, but Saturday or Sunday. So I'm going to say it's going to be one of those. Just be on the lookout on the community page, and I'll try to do a link like this. Today was just a ripping and running, but I wanted to check in with you guys. I now have to get off of here and go deal with this school stuff. I got a paper I'm supposed to do, but we'll see how that's going to work. I'm tired. Anyway, y'all, 2 and 2, be blessed. And we pray for Israel. Pray for us, because like I said, I do believe we are going to war. There's more coming. Definitely save food. Definitely start gardening. I'm getting ready. Got to get out there and clean up mine and get it started. I will show y'all that probably within the next 30 days as some scheduled things happen in November. Hopefully I'll get out there and deal with that as well. Peace, joy, happiness, y'all.